Venkatesaya Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidaya Vasishtaya Namo Namaha Lakshmi Nata Samarambam Nata Yamuna Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Partaya Pradibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatmamanusandatami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Vasudevasutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Namo Venkatesaya. Pranams to everybody. So let's recapitulate the chapter 1 which we went through in the last few days. So the first is the Bhagavad Gita begins with the question from Dhritarashtra asking Sanjaya, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamakaha Pandavacheva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. So that means people have assembled in this holy place of this Kurukshetra, my own people as well as the Pandavas. What did they do? That's the question that asks Sanjaya. And then Sanjaya starts talking about the army configurations as well as the discussions that took place initially between Duryodhana. It's not even a discussion, it is only a monologue that the Duryodhana talking to his Acharya. So having seen the arrangement, the military arrangement of these Pandavas, then the Duryodhana went to his guru and then started talking to him. So what did he say to his guru? Paschaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Yudam Drupada Putrena Tava Sishyena Dhimata. So please look at the military arrangements of this Pandavas, which has been with the commander-in-chief of this the Drupada Putra, who is the Drishtadrumna. So have a look at it. He's also your own Sishya. So almost having a dig at his, this guru. Atra Sura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yodano Viratascha Drupadascha Maha. He starts listing out the various Maharathas who was on the field of this this Pandava side. Then he's listing out all the people. Then finally he's also giving comfort, saying that not only that, we also have a lot of good Maharathas on our side. So he's listing out starting from Bhishma Pitamar as well as yourself, that is Dronacharya, all the other people, Krishna, Ashwatthama, Vikarna, so many other people are have assembled there. Then finally he concludes saying that although Pandavas Maharathas are there, in terms of the size, our size, we have got a much greater army strength than them. Therefore he seemed to be quite pleased with that, although initially he started with some kind of a worry looking at the Pandava side. Then since Bhishma Pitama is going to be our commander-in-chief, all of us must protect the Bhishma Pitama from all angles, because when he's engaged in battle with somebody in one direction, the enemies from other direction may approach him, and therefore we should protect him from all angles. So that is the instructions he gives to all his commanders. Then having seen the kind of this kind of words coming from Duryodhana, then Bhishma Pitama wanted to give him comfort, so he started blowing his conch, followed by all the people. So most of the people, all these people on the Kaurava side started blowing their conches. Then they started blowing this beri, all those drum beats and all those things. And on the Pandava side immediately, Krishna started blowing his Shankha Panchajanya, then followed by Arjuna, Devadatta, then Bhima, all those people. Then the Dharmaputra, then Nakula, Sahadeva, all those people started blowing their conches. Then all this blowing of these conches, Krishna's Panchajanyam has the capability of destroying the self-confidence of his enemies. So similarly, all this when the Pandavas started blowing their conches, almost it rattled the hearts of all this the Kaurava side, especially the Duryodhana and his brothers. Then at that time, this Arjuna, who was almost ready to fight the battle with so much of confidence, he took his arrow and he also took his bow. Just before that, he asked Krishna, Senayor Bhayor Madhya Ratam Stapya Me Archi. That means just place this chariot in the middle of these two warring factions. So I just want to see who are all the people who have assembled on the side of this evil-minded Duryodhana. I want to see all of them so that we can work out a strategy how to destroy them. That was the plan that Arjuna. So till now he had so much of self-confidence, and therefore he asked Krishna to take the chariot in between the warring factions. And as instructed by Arjuna, Krishna took the chariot in between these two warring factions and said, these are the only 4 words Krishna says in the chapter 1. Pasyayetan samavetan kurun. That means please see all the assembled the people on the Kaurava side, please have a look at them. That's all he said. Then on seeing all those people, then he saw on both sides, because since he placed him in between the two so that he can have a view of both the sides, that is Pandava side as well as the Kaurava side. So he looked at all the people on that side. He saw his own Bhishma Pitamaha, Dronacharya, his own cousin brothers, his own father-in-law on both sides. I mean, his sons, grandsons, brothers-in-law, so many other people. He saw all of them. Then immediately he completely broke down. So the man who started with the self-confidence of having to fight the battle completely, was overtaken by his compassion, and therefore he started telling Krishna, I see so many people, all this, this kith and kin, all those relatives are in this on both sides of the warring factions. So all my limbs are trembling, my mouth has become dry, my bow is slipping out of my kandiva, is slipping out of my hands, and therefore I am not able to. My skins are all burning, and then my hairs are standing on their end, and therefore I'm not able to fight this battle. So that's what he's saying. So my mind is also become completely blank. I'm not able to think anything or all that, and therefore I think I'm seeing a lot of this bad omens also happening in this battlefield, and therefore I think it's not worth for me to fight this battle. So that I don't think I don't want to get in this kingdom having killed my kith and kin in this battle. So that is what he said. Then he said that if all this battle we are fighting only for the sake of enjoying with our kith and kin, but if all my kith and kin, uncles, grandfathers, brothers-in-law, relatives, everybody is being killed in this battle, then what is the point in getting the kingdom after that? All those things. So even if I want the 3 worlds, if I can conquer the 3 worlds by fighting this battle, I'm not interested. Then forget about only this getting this the Kuru kingdom, and I'm not I won't get any pleasure by getting all these things. And then it will become sin will accrue to us if we start fighting our own kith and kin, and the friends will do mitra droha and all those things, and therefore I don't think it's worth fighting this battle. He gives further arguments in support of his the decision not to fight this battle. Although this the Kauravas are because of their greed, they have started getting our land, and therefore, but then and they want to do the aggression. They are not worried about destroying the clan of this Kurus. But having known that this is going to get into the world of sins, and therefore we'll go to Naraka, what is the point in fighting with our own king? And I don't think I can fight this battle. And then he further advances his argument, because seeing the expression on Krishna's face, Krishna is not approving any of his words so far. So he keeps on putting arguments after arguments to justify his stand. And then he further adds saying that with the destruction of all these things, the entire our kula, the clan of this Kuru Kulan will be completely vanquished, and then there will be a lot of immorality. The moral values will get degraded, will get completely lost, and therefore there will be degradation of the clan. And then all irreligion will take place, and there will be mixture of the varnas, admixture of varnas, and therefore the children coming out of this varnas admixture, they will not be able to offer this this pinda and udaka to our ancestors and forefathers, which they are supposed to do, and therefore our forefathers will also will completely that means they will fall off from their positions, and they won't be able to go to higher regions, and therefore that will lead to the Pitri Shapam. That means they will also start giving a shapa, and therefore it is not worth fighting this battle, and there will be nobody to offer the food and water to our ancestors. So with all these kind of evil things that will happen by fighting this battle, and there won't be any, it doesn't lead to the welfare of this family or to the clan, and therefore I'm not willing to fight this battle. And also people, I have heard from my various gurus in the past that people who destroy these family traditions will always stay in the hell, and there will not be any vimochanam. That means they won't come out of this hell at all. And therefore, I don't want to get into a situation of going to the hell permanently, staying there. So there is hence there is no point in taking this battle and killing our kith and kin. So it's better for me to just fight. I mean, sit in this battle without any resistance, and then without taking any arms. And then if the Kauravas want to kill me, and it doesn't matter, I don't mind getting killed in this battle. that will be much better for me, and therefore I don't want to fight this battle. So having said all these things, he just left his, this arrow and then this bow on the chariot, sat down on the chariot, completely taken over by grief and misplaced compassion. So that is how the first chapter concludes. As we saw earlier in one of the classes, it is only a misplaced compassion, because Arjuna as Arjuna has got two roles to play. One is Arjuna is the descendant of the Kuru clan, and therefore his job is to protect his kith and kin family members, and he should not destroy his family. That is one. That is his role as Arjuna, as the member belongs to the Kuru clan. But Arjuna as a Kshatriya is also got a role to play. So he has got that other hat to wear. So in that role, he has got to destroy. He has got to fight against adharma. Even assuming that Krishna is subsequently going to say that even if you are destroyed in this battle, doesn't matter, Arjuna, because you have fought the battle for protecting the dharma. That itself is sufficient. So as Kshatriya, his role is to fight against the adharma. Obviously, the Duryodhana and clan and the people have done a lot of aggressions. They are already on the path of adharma, which is absolutely very clearly known to themselves. When Duryodhana knows that he's on the side of adharma, Dhritarashtra knows, this Drona knows, as well as the Bhishma Pitama, everybody knows that he's on the path of adharma, because he has got, he has tried to kill them. He has tried to, this poison Bhima. He took away this kingdom using this, this malicious plan of Shakuni by playing the game of dice. Even assuming that they have got the kingdom, then he gave them that 13 years of, 12 years of exile and 1 year of Ajñātavāsam. Once they completed, if we come back, we can get back. That was the word that Duryodhana has given. So when they completed that portion, he still did not want to honor his part of the portion of giving back the kingdom. And they took several efforts. Samadhana, Beda, Danda. Danda is the last stage. So they sent several emissaries. Emissaries, including Krishna himself, went as the Duta from the Pandava side and gave them the advice of saying that, even if they give 5 villages, that's enough. Not even the entire kingdom. Even the 5 villages is sufficient for them to, come to a compromise on this issue. But even that was not heeded to by Duryodhana. So he's definitely on the side of adharma, which is known to everybody. So when it is known that he is on the side of adharma, Arjuna as the Kshatriya has to fight against adharma, and that is what is the Kshatriya dharma is. So when there is a conflict of dharma between his role as Kshatriya vis-a-vis his role as the member of the Kuru clan, which dharma supersedes? That is where that issue is. So when there is a conflict of dharma, normally the dharma which is beneficial to a larger members of the society supersedes dharma which is supporting only a smaller role of his. For example, in this case of dharma, when he is supporting his Kuru clan and then leaving away from the battlefield, he may be protecting his clan, but he is not protecting the entire dharma. So that is, dharma must be protected for the benefit of the entire society as such. So when it is in the benefit of the society, that dharma takes precedence over the dharma which is to protect the smaller section of the society. In that sense, so yes, he got completely confused in his role as what is to be done, whether he should fight the battle or not to fight the battle. That was the confusion that Arjuna had. And then subsequently, Krishna is going to clarify that. And ultimately, in the second chapter, in the 8th or 7th sloka, he's going to say that, I'm confused. Krishna, I have surrendered to you. You are my disciple. I am your disciple, and I have surrendered to you. Please tell me what is it that I should do. That's why. So once he says that, Krishna is going to take over completely and start advising Arjuna as to what his role is. So that is where the first chapter is, the confusion. Arjuna's Vishada Yoga. Vishada Yoga means, this complete depression, despondency. So that arises out of his confusion on what his dharma role is, which most of us follow. In fact, this itself is, if you look at it symbolically, it is a fight that we go through every day in our life. So we have got all these hundreds of wicked thoughts, which represents the Kaurava side, and we have got certain good thoughts representing the Pandava side. There's always a fight between the bad and the good thoughts. And finally, we have got to, through our intellect, or through intellect represents the Sarathi, which is the Krishna Paramatma in this case. Intellect is what will advise us what is the path that we should follow. Always we have this kind of dilemma, which path to follow. So that is what is represented through this, this battle between the Kauravas and the Pandavas. Fight within ourselves, which we undergo every day. And that's why the message of Gita is very important in terms of where there is a conflict of dharma, which dharma supersedes and what we should do. So that is what is the message contained in the first chapter. So having summarized this first chapter, it is Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Krishna Arjuna Samvade Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Pratamodhyaya. This is how the first chapter concludes. From the second chapter, initially Krishna whips him verbally by 2 slokas. Even then Arjuna goes back and refuses to fight the battle, and thereafter he surrenders to him, and then Krishna takes over from the 11th sloka, and that's until the end of the Bhagavad Gita. So his own advices is there with few questions from Arjuna on clarifications. So with that, we will move on to the second chapter from tomorrow. Om Namo Venkatesaya. Sarvam Sri Krishnarpnamastu. Krishna 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 Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Please stay